call something to mind.
Okay, so I'll add it. I know this because.
Yeah, I know this because that really gets at the what key point.
Okay.
And so when I look at this, I know getting to the how key point.
Yeah, here, the why is supposed to go before the how, so I got it.
Yeah.
Mixed. So when you're right. That way when he answered this, I would already gone over the key point, or I can use it to transition to the key point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, then when I looked at the rest of the plan, then there was like another moment around the 10-minute mark, but just for time's sake, so we can actually get to doing the plan, we'll just look at the plan itself. So here, when we're thinking about the like exemplar response, here in the video, you kind of just said, well, I said this and I said that and I said that, which is fine. However, when you get to the we do, especially when you're trying to use those key points to kind of prompt students to get to that exemplar response, like it has to be like more detailed than what we're seeing here.
More detailed than this?
Yes. In terms of, I know, like, for example, you're asking them to compare and contrast.
I'm not just writing the answer, but I should like write the explanation how I know.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when I think about like your lines, and we talked about like the whole idea of them not like finding evidence immediately to where they're just like, okay, I see this and I know this, so I'm just going to put this in there. Like initially, like, yes, they need to find evidence, but at the same time, we need to model what that looks like by incorporating key points in our exemplars.
Okay.
So, how we're going to kind of make this come to life now, I have your plan for tomorrow pulled up. Do you have your computer?
Yep. Sorry. It's okay. This is my stuff anyway. It's how it looks like at the end of the day.
And I have the little we do doc, because I know that was very helpful in terms of like determining how even these exemplars look like.
So we're at the we do?
We can do it for, let's go ahead and focus on the we do only because it's our big focus for the week.
So tomorrow is writing a summary or summarizing the text. What I have right here so far, I didn't put the notes in yet. I was going to do it tonight. What I have so far is I took two passages from the chapter that we're at. So for the we do, the key point was summarizing. So to summarize, it's a brief statement. So I have that, here's one way to do it. But then we go back, but then here we're going to focus on the elements of plot, and I copy what they are here. So I'm going to use this as the key point, part of the key point, and then I summarize it for them, chapter 9.
Down here?
Like, I'm just catching them up to where we're at, because some students are absent, or have been absent, and so I want to catch them up.
So I will say, so your summary here actually does a like much better job incorporating those people. So it says like, we last stopped at chapter 9. We are at the climax. I know this because it's where we find the like it kind of goes back to like, what is the climax? And then what is the conflict? Conflict is the boys. So it's more so getting to what we're trying to work towards.
Yeah. I used to have this on the side notes, but I think putting into the plan so student can read is better. So yeah, this is what I'm going to use. So please continue.
Okay. So in terms of the summary, we know that we're incorporating the elements of plot. So you can find my cursor, or you can just scroll down.
I actually add that in over lunch because of today's lesson. After today's lesson, I'm like, oh wait,
I tell she's just a thought catcher.
Okay.
Okay. So with a summary, I'm just gonna quickly just add a note here. Summary. And we know the summaries incorporate what?
The main points.
And what more?
I don't know how to say this, but I want to tell them, like, you got to focus on whatever the element we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're at the climax element, you want to focus on summarizing the conflict and just narrow in on the conflict rather than just describing character at this point. You don't need to describe character anymore.
So basically, your target is that you want them to summarize the particular section of the text that we're reading. Okay. So essentially, you have to add that into your key points for summary, because even if I gave students like 5 or 6 pages to summarize, you're always going to summarize the text that is given to you, versus if you're giving just a chunk, you summarize just that chunk. I wish you could see my comments right now.
But I don't, or I do?
You don't see them because I
don't.
have to write them.
Okay.
Let me write them. Let me just add them at the very, very bottom. I'm at the last page.
Okay. Click on you.
So the summary, the main points. So it's just a given section. What else? So it's just plot elements.
Yeah, so the given section of the plot element. That's where that was to say.
Okay. So basically, when you're thinking about your exemplar responses, incorporating the summary, and we already know this from the assessment itself, it does use those terms like climax, it uses the resolution, it uses all those terms explicitly, so we have to call those out in the exemplar. So let us go up to Medusa face. It looks like Medusa.
Yes, it is.
It does, I know.
Right, and so let's go ahead and just write a summary for this right now.
So what I have, they're just going to write the section down here. I'm just showing them how to write it by section.
Okay. I just need to take.
Do you want me to note it, or do you want me to write it on it?
No, we can just put it in the comments.
Okay.
I wish I had memorized this whole text.